Thailand. The only destination where 7 days of blackout drinking and random one-night stands makes you view your regular life back home as a shallow, meaningless existence. So after decompressing into an anxious ball of FOMO, you reach for the nearest device and begin searching how to live and work in Thailand. But before you can begin telling your boss to shove it and planning for your next hangover, you're kicked in the teeth with a hard dose of online reality. See, foreigners just can't waltz into the country and get a job in Thailand. It's illegal, they only hire Thai people, and unless you're willing to sing and dance like a pantomime for Thai kids all day, then there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do to gain employment in Thailand. What the fuck? Not only can foreigners work legally in Thailand, they actually do, and in the tens of thousands. And as a full-time employee here, I've always wanted to better understand the reason for the disconnect. I mean, why do so many people with no knowledge, experience, or expertise of Thailand repeatedly, and I mean every chance that they can get, love telling other foreigners that you can't work here when obviously it's a load of crap. So today, I thought I'd look into the reason behind one of the most misunderstood ideas in Thailand's expat world, the truth about working in Thailand, for someone who's actually done it for 11 years. This idea that Thailand's had its gates closed for foreign workers has been floating around for decades now. Like most half-truths, there is a grain of reality in there, as there are some restrictions here because, you know, name any country in the world that just says,
"Doors open, boys, mosey on in and do whatever you want here."
Western countries save that attitude for their real estate market, not their employment. This is all outlined in something here called the Alien Working Act, which, besides igniting the expat immigrant debate from people, basically says that if you have the right visa or work permit and an employer that's registered to hire foreigners, you're good to go here. Is it as simple as that to get a job here then? No. But is it impossible, like so many say it is? Not even close. No, it's not just Burmese road laborers or Cambodian construction workers with the work permits here in Thailand. Roughly 30% of those working here legally are from Western nationalities. Americans, Brits, Germans, Canadians, and Aussie. Was that? This activity focuses on bringing in skilled foreign workers. Think tech, robotics, biotech, or AI. If you bring in skills, investment, or knowledge that Thailand wants, they'll open a door here for you. As long as you take your shoes off first. So why don't more people use the BOI options to work in Thailand then? You see it all the time here in forums online, just insert any Western country name here is now expensive. And can I get a job paying 60,000 a year on Koh Samui with 2 weeks annual leave and 3-day work week? Truth is, Thailand isn't handing out white collar salaries to random foreigners with no real skills. I mean, if it did, it probably wouldn't be classed as a developing country. And it definitely won't become a developed country by letting in every graphic designer or hairdresser or call center operator who decides to move to Asia after 3 beer buckets at a full moon party. Thailand specifically wants experience or expertise, and if you think that's not fair, then let me know in the comment section below what immigration policy Thailand should have, and if you'd be happy if it was also applied to your country. Whenever I say online that foreigners can work in Thailand, I always hear the same rebuttals. Well, if that's true, then why haven't I ever seen them? Or I've lived in a tin shack in rural Thailand for 17 years and I've never once seen a foreigner working a white-collar job here. You probably haven't seen carpet in all that time either, mate. That doesn't mean it stopped existing too. And despite all I've said up to this point, even you might be thinking to yourself, well, maybe there is something to these rumors. After all, you don't see white people working when you're at the beaches, the markets, or the bars in Thailand, so maybe this bloody guy is making up bullshit. Let me reiterate the point behind this video. I'm not trying to say billions of foreigners are working in Thailand. I'm simply saying the people who declare you can't work here are either very wrong or grossly informed. Look, white-collar expats were always a small minority of the overall foreigners in Thailand, even before COVID hit, which isn't difficult when 95,000 new tourists are arriving every day here. Plus, 99% of Westerners trying to move to Thailand aren't exactly coming here to spend Monday to Friday doing anything productive. beyond treating a hangover or a curious new rash. Also, foreign white-collar workers aren't exactly trying to compete with digital nomads or influencers for an audience in the social media space. We don't need to monetize your views, likes, or attention to earn money here. And while I wish $10 a month from YouTube covered my expenses, I need a salary to pay for my mortgage, my kids' education, and these fucking terrible haircuts. Instead, your average foreign office worker in Thailand gets around 140 days off per annum in Thailand, and they mostly spend those nearly 5 months worth of paid leave a year in the country enjoying the fuck out of living here, not sitting in front of a green screen yelling at a camera about the land of smiles. Well, not all of them. So with all the tourists and the new DTV visa and influx of remote workers, us legal workers here are so diluted into the mix of foreigners now, it's probably easier to find a real CIA or MI5 agent at a bar in Pattaya than a white-collar worker for Falang in Thailand. But if foreigners can work in Thailand, and thousands obviously do, why does this belief keep rearing its ugly head all the time? Firstly, the myth has emotional roots. There's something really satisfying about a clean, definitive statement. You can't work there. End of discussion. It feels authoritative and it makes people sound like they know information that you don't. Kind of like an expert at something that they don't know anything about, which is probably a good time to plug my previous video on dating in Thailand. And this attitude is especially common in online expat groups where every third comment on working here is something like, "You'll never get a real job in Thailand except for teaching. Thais don't want foreigners taking their jobs. Everything is fixed to benefit Thais here. Don't even try." These obviously aren't facts, they're just projections of their own experiences. Then there's a list of prohibited occupations for foreigners, which makes some people presume that every occupation here must be banned, when in reality, they only cover a small number of jobs of which you've probably never met anyone in your life who actually does them, let alone wants to do them here. Unless you happen to know people who are planning on moving here to become cigar rollers or a fucking goldsmith. Lastly, the old guard of Thailand still often controls the narrative here. And you know who I'm talking about, because I mean my channel analytics mean most people watching this probably fit into that category. So I should probably be a little careful of what I say here. There are a lot of foreigners who came here during the visa run days when most foreign work was simply illegal by default. So when they see someone who's working here legally as a tech consultant or under a Thai business with a BOI license, instead of accepting that times change, there's some who double down and present their argument as length of time here equals how infallible your argument is. Oh, actually, lastly, there's one more thing. It's often easier to simply complain about things rather than comply with them, because getting a job in Thailand does require a bit of effort. Putting in no effort and assuming it is impossible to work here, it's much easier to process than going through the rigmarole of a thorough Thai job search. Especially nowadays when it's much easier to just palm off $50 for a course on how to live in Thailand from a guy who requires 17 different revenue streams to survive here, rather than only needing one stable income to live very comfortably here. So yeah, Thailand's legal landscape for foreign workers isn't perfect, it never will be, and to be fair, it never should be easy for us either. So from the tens of thousands of Westerners holding work permits to the smart visa and LTR programs, the facts tell a different story to the common Thailand narrative. And it's all happening legally with proper visas, work permits, and government approval. So the next time that you hear that tired line of foreigners can't work here, don't be afraid to push back and say, that's simply not true, because Logan did it. When they say, who the fuck is Logan? Please direct them to my channel and tell them to subscribe for more Thailand content. Thanks for watching. Peace.